Hey, it's Erin from EW Wellness, and today one of my FAQs is, so what do you eat? I get asked this all the time. People are fascinated. So what does Erin eat? And the song I found, which was so cool, it's perfect. E eats everything. They might be giants. It was written for today. Who knew? All right, here's the deal. I try to eat seasonally, and I try to eat locally, and I try to eat with an intention. What does that mean? That means, for instance, yesterday I had a pretty good idea what I was going to eat the day before. I don't wing it. I look at menus before I go somewhere. I make sure I always have staples in my house. I plan ahead. I know. Right now it's the dead of winter here in Connecticut. So this morning for breakfast I had chia seed pudding that I always keep a big old vat of it in the fridge. I warmed it up and I threw in some blueberries and macadamia nuts. Super filling. I had it before I went and worked out. I'm going to go meet a girlfriend for lunch in a little bit, and I already checked it out. They have a lovely tortilla soup. I'll probably have some sort of a side of steak or some sort of, I'm a big meat person. I have this blood thing. I have to eat a lot of meat. And then for dinner tonight, I have leftover sea bass, and I'm going to have a side of bok choy. So I already know I'm going to eat today. Now, if I was in the Maldives, which I'd like to be, my diet would be very different. I'd be having fish for breakfast, and I'd be having a lot of mangoes because they'd grow outside my hotel, and it'd be a wonderful experience, and I wouldn't be cold, and I'd be taking naps and hammocks. So there, E would be eating other things, right? But since I'm not, since I'm here in Connecticut, where we're expecting more snow, I cannot eat that. So to answer your question, I do not eat weird food. I try to not eat things that come in packages. I try to eat, this is Love Myself by Haley Stanfield. I try to eat food that is somewhat as local as possible. Like for instance, I don't really go crazy with where the sea bass was yesterday. As long as I don't think it was flown, from the moon, good enough for me. I try to do my best. Is it perfect? Am I going to go nuts with every little ingredient in the tortilla soup or the soup I'm about to have? I can't live that way. I have other things to worry about. But I try to eat 3 meals a day. That's important. I used to be a big snacker. Every once in a while, I might have a little low blood sugar dip thing. It's usually between lunch and dinner. The culprit is almost always lunch wasn't big enough. I'll have fat. I'll have a slice of avocado. I keep these little freezer fudge things in my freezer. One of those, basically a big serving of fat, and I'm golden till dinner. I don't eat anything after dinner. I'm always hungry for breakfast in the morning. I try to eat the same way, 24/7, 365. Not that I don't appreciate that Christmas dinner was Christmas dinner. We were away, actually, and I had, there was different food, and I ate different food, but I didn't go super big, because I don't like how I feel when I eat a lot of extra bulky food. I was reading somewhere that your stomach can really only handle up to 600 calories at one time, which I totally agree with. Because I know if I eat anything bigger than that, and it can also be a volume thing too, but as far as calorically, I don't feel well. So I've learned a lot of these things the hard way, but I know that this is of great interest to people. So what do I eat? I don't eat bread for the most part. Every once in a while, I'll run across something that's not made with wheat, and I'll try it. I don't really like how it tastes anymore. They all kind of taste, even if it's like soy flour or almond flour, there's always going to be some sort of weird reaction when you take like a nut and try to duplicate how it's going to act like a grain. So that's just not really for me. Obviously anything packaged I try to stay away from. Anything, not naturally found in nature, not my bag. Anything in a bag. I do my best to stay away from anything with sugar. I have very limited amounts of fruit, and if I do, it's almost always in the morning. Like I mentioned, I have berries in the morning. I know if I have a lot of dried fruit or any real dried fruit, my body's like, oh great, there's candy. So I have to be very careful with dried fruit. I know it sounds kind of strange, like careful with raisins, but I do. I can't have a lot of raisins. Everyone's got something. I know, raisins are mine. I'm trying to think what else. This is always interesting to people, and I can never think of what I eat when they ask me. So I hope this helps, and bring the FAQs coming, because January I'm all about what you guys want to know. Tomorrow, how to get a six-pack. This comes up. I'm combining how to get a six-pack and how to get a thigh gap in the same day because it's the same answer. All right, thanks. Bye.